1,000 fucking subscribers. Stupid fucking shit. So, everyone wants to know how to make a competent up-tempo kick, but nobody knows how. So, I'm going to show you how to do that shit. So, first of all, a few things that you're going to need to know is to always have the snap setting be on 1/3 step. So it looks like this when you zoom in. Second of all, you're going to need to automate stuff, and you're going to need to learn how to automate, which is pretty easy. Just for example, I'm going to automate the master volume right here. And you see 2 points, 3 actually, when you hover over this. If you drag the first point, it moves it down or up, depending on where you move your mouse. And this middle point curves it, and it gives it tension. So when I say positive tension, I mean this. And when I say negative tension, I mean this. And the last thing that you're going to need to know is how to record stuff, which is easy. So first, just throw a sample in there, like just as a placeholder. Switch to song, so it doesn't play the non-existent pattern. And then go to your mixer. On the master, open Edison on any slot, which is under miscellaneous. Now, if you click record here, it's going to record anything when it plays. And now just play the audio. Now, stop it before it gets like super ridiculously long, and then click here, and then click here. And what that'll do is it normalizes it and trims it. Normalizes basically means that it gets it as loud as it can be without clipping. And now we can start. So what you're going to need to start out is anything with a bit of sub, and for that you're going to need something like a kick. But there's a way to actually cheat that and have sub in anything you want. Take this shaker, for instance, right? So as you can see here on the free parametric, no subs at all. But if you do this, I'm pressing Alt, by the way. If you press Alt and drag, you can move stuff by the smallest increment FL Studio allows. But if you do this and then play this over and over again, like that, you can see that in the free parametric EQ2, there are subs indeed. So I guess this could be made with almost any sound in FL Studio, which is good for making meme kicks, like making a kick out of a fucking door slamming. Anyways, let's get on with the kick making, whatever the fuck. So I'm just going to use a basic 808 kick to demonstrate the one with the subs, and to demonstrate one without any subs, I'm going to go with this hi-hat. So to make a kick, you're going to need to shorten this to about here, to the 3rd increment here, or the 2nd. Now, this is going to be your punch. It's not going to be long because that's how new up-tempo kicks are. You're going to need to add another instance of this sample, and now drag it out to where it's a bit quieter, so like about here. And then just focus on one point, doesn't really matter, and then just loop that. So now you have this. And also, I'm a fucking dumbass, and I forgot to put it at 200 BPM. Actually, to 10. 10.5. Plus 5. Anyways, let's just do that now. Get that. Yeah. So now you get this. Now what you want to do is open up the basic 808 kick, and here where it says track below this red box with 3 dashes, click that, and that'll assign it to a mixer channel or insert, or whatever the fuck you call it. Now go into slot 1 and open up an EQ2, and now add mids until it sounds like an up-tempo kick punch. So that sounds right. It's just a little noise. Now open up a pretty fast disc. Now you can either do A or B with pre-distortion at its highest. I'll choose B just because I haven't done B in a while. Now go to slot 3, open up another EQ2, and add some more mids. So by now it sounds a bit ear-shattering, but hey, it's going to get better in a bit. Open up a 3D wave shaper, and now to square wave distort something, right-click anywhere that makes it point. Now click this point with left-click and just drag it all the way to top right. Now it's going to be a bit loud. So now just take another 3D parametric EQ2 and drag a point up to the sub. You're starting to hear it's forming. And one last thing to do, because I'm a fucking idiot, is put a Fruity Soft Clipper on the insert. Or, alternatively, you could open up a Fruity Soft Clipper on the master and then just use that one. But if you're opening up a Fruity Soft Clipper on the master, make sure to put the Edison below it so it records everything when it's soft clipped and not when it's not soft clipped. Because if you do that, then this can happen. And when you try to normalize it, yeah. Anyways, back to whatever the fuck. So I'm just going to keep the Fruity Soft Clipper on here. Now, it does sound like it's missing a bit of sub bass, which I could add another point here. And now it sounds like an up-tempo kick. But one thing that I usually do is I automate one of these points here. So I would right-click here, click Create Automation Clip. Now, this is where I usually do this to get this sort of shape. And from here, I just modify it based on how I like it to sound. So one thing that you could probably do is turn down the tension on this one and just mess with the tension a bit. And also, you can make a French chord type kick with this style. So if you right click in the middle here, it'll add a point in the middle. Then with this point, you can do hold. And if you do this, where the bass goes up here and then it goes back down here, it sounds pretty much like an up-tempo sort of French chord type kick. One thing you can also do is to get rid of all these. With this little sample here, you can click Alt and drag just a small bit to the left, and that'll make it a bit smaller. And now just click here and then loop it using a paintbrush. And you can also cut this off with using Alt and dragging as well. But that makes it a bit higher pitched. I think it would sound a bit better like this. Yeah. Anyways, now for the hi-hat. So I just did this really quick, which is just a bunch of Alt and clicking and dragging and shit. And I actually put it on the same channel as the one before. And now it sounds like this. So I reckon that with just a bit more bass, I just made a great fucking up-tempo kick out of a hi-hat. And also one thing to note is that when you're recording stuff, make sure that you let the kick play out longer than twice its length, so that way all distortion can stop. So when you play it, there's a bit of just a little woofy sub thing here. So just let that play out before recording it. And now normalize and trim, and click this arrow with the folder thing, and then click here, or dragged there rather, and then drag into here. And one thing, if you want to make your kicks mono, which you should probably do, then I actually forgot to say this first, but to make your kick mono, just open up a Fruity Stereo Enhancer, and then turn up the stereo separation all the way. And now, if you want to move this all the way to the top, which you need to, scroll up with your mouse hovering over it. So now it sounds like this. And let me see if I can just make this kick a bit higher pitched. And there you go. So this is a very competent way of making kicks. However, another way that you can make them is with synths. And with synths, it's not that hard actually. So just open up a Serum instance. And for Serum, you're going to want to click this first and then click Track. And now go back to Serum. For me, for the wavetables, I usually use the default one. However, I sometimes go through my massive amount of fucking wavetables and I find one that works. I'll just use a square saw and I guess maybe put the wavetable position to halfway, something like that. I don't know, I'm just messing around now. And now turn on the sub, make the octave -2, and make sure to turn the random down to 0, the random phasing. That way it doesn't sound like a different kick every time. And then go to the piano roll and add a note on somewhere in C5, or sorry, anywhere in the 5th octave. So I'm just going to use this one. So now go back to the song editor or playlist, click here, and then click pattern 1. That way you'll be able to place the pattern here, and then just cut it like this. And also to have this red bar show up here, it's just right click right that. So now it's playing like this. So go into the channel that you assign serum to, or mixer, insert, whatever the fuck. Slot 1, free parametric EQ, and then just add some mids, high mids, until it sort of sounds like it's going to fucking rape your ears. And then add a fruity fast dist. I'll just use A for this instance. Do another fruity parametric EQ, add subs. And now that I see there's not enough bass, so I'm just going to go back to here and get rid of some of these points. Or 1. So that sounds like a good solid punch. Now go into slot 4 and fruity wave shaper, square wave. Go back into the second one and just mess around with the bass a bit, see what you can do. Okay, so I just added like a bunch of lows and 1 point here. Now go into slot 5 and parametric EQ2 again, and just do like a fucking sub point. I don't know. Okay, well now it sounds more like an up-tempo kick. That's good. And also I forgot to open a soft clipper because I don't have one on the master. So that sounds like a good punch. Now if I take this point and drag it down, it'll make a flat line because they both cancel out. So if I just automate this, it'll make the peak twice as high when it's up at its maximum gain, which is good for bass. So now just do the weird fucking like bass adding thing. And there you go, that's an interesting sounding kick. You can also do a French quartet kick out of this as well. Now if you don't have serum, that's okay. You can also make one out of 3x OSC. Just open a 3x OSC, go to pattern 1, replace serum's point with 3x OSC. And now go to 3x OSC. Now I have less to choose from when it comes to the waveform, but it'll work. So do a saw wave course 24. And then the course on this one will be 0, that will be that, and that will be that. Okay, so basically what I did was maximize the volume on the second oscillator, and then for the third one I turned it off. So for the first one I have a saw wave, and then for the second I have a sine wave. Now you can do a triangle wave as well, but I don't know. This is actually my first time doing it this way in 3x OSC, so yeah, I'll just assign that to a channel. Okay, and now obviously add mids. Right. Okay, so since the course on here is 24, that means we have to bring it down an octave. Okay, and then just rape the mids, and then go to fruity fastest, free max. I'll do B again this time. Open up another fruity parametric, and then subs, another fruity wave shaper, and then another fruity parametric EQ2, and subs. Now, if you're using 3x OSC, I just realized you should probably make the note be as long as an entire kick roll, because when you place another note down after this one, it sounds off. It just sounds, it's like a punch, but it's not really. So what I would do is just this, and then mess with the EQ, and then go into here and automate a point. And shit, I forgot to make this short first, so it just makes it that long, but hey, that's fine. So just cut that, and then add a point there, and then single curve that, and then there you go. And also soft clip as usual. Actually, I'm going to see what happens if I add some lower points. And yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's it for the 3x OSC one. And I'm going to make a kick out of a 909. Now, 909s are the easiest to make kicks out of because you don't need to do any like splicing or like, you know, messing with synths, anything like that. So you just throw fucking kick in. Not the 909 one here, because that one's shit and it's short and it's dumb. So this is the full 909 kick, and then just do a track again. Now, I have left out a few things when it comes to the plugins you can use. Now, you can also use Fruity Blood Overdrive, and it gives it a sort of guitar amp sort of style. And if you just pair this on top of like a simple, you know, mid EQ and fast disc, it sounds like this. And without it, like this. So yeah, you can also mess with the pre-band and stuff like that. On top of the Fruity Blood Overdrive, you can also do Fruity Squeeze. Now this is basically just a weird bit crusher. I don't know how to explain it, but it does this sort of stuff. And for the last one that I did not talk about, Effector. Now, Effector sounds a bit weird because, oh, it's like a effect thing. Well, yes, but you can use the flanger on here in pretty creative ways. Now, if you just get the tone to be the same, or just find a good one like that, then just blast the fucking mids. Well, there you go. That's a way to use Effector. Let me just try messing with the X parameter. Now, you can also use the flanger to make up-tempo FX kicks, but that is coming in the next video. So one last thing you can do with the 909 kick is that you can make it a sort of Frenchcore kick. If you combine the method that we did first with the 808 and hi-hat fucking thing, if you just do that with the kick, and you do it halfway, it sounds like this. Which is pretty good for old-school Frenchcore type kicks. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the UPTEMPO FX video, which is probably coming up this week, maybe later. I got school now, so that's just fucking wonderful. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, stay safe during bullshit corona